Let's face it, missions is about relationships. We can send money and resources around the world and accomplish fantastic things, but the one thing we can't do by sending money is build a personal relationship. This is why Jesus commands us to go to the ends of the earth. He came so that we might have an eternal relationship with Him, and He sends us out as His ambassadors.
Missions are more effective when you go with the mentality of building long life relationships, lasting relationships. You go there with that mentality. I'm going to build relationships and God knows what He'll do with them. I am a product of missions. A family from California decided they wanted to spend a year of their lives serving God, and they went to my little town in Colombia, South America. They were not used to a context like that, but they did something interesting. They came and showed us their love. I became a believer at the youth camp they invited me to. And not only that, but 30-some years later, I've been to over 40 nations preaching the gospel. I became a missionary myself as a product of one person, one family. The one day said, hey, we're gonna step out of our comfort zone. We're gonna go serve God with what we have. We don't need the language, we don't need the expertise. We'll go and show love through smiles and service. That's what they did.
Many missions take place in areas where there is extreme physical and spiritual need. So let's take a minute to look at some of the characteristics of those who live in extreme poverty or face some other form of oppression.
I know the poor because these are people that I went to high school with, people that were my neighbors that I used to go to church with or work with. And one thing is that this poverty takes over and consumes their thoughts 24 hours a day. For this reason, we are very intentional in the ways that we go about serving impoverished communities. Specifically, our goal is to empower them rather than to enable them. Instead of showering them with gifts which may make us feel great but does little to alleviate the issue, we look for ways to involve them in a process of helping themselves. These communities get into a very nasty cycle of degradation. There'll be issues with drugs and violence and prostitution and orphan children. When we help people in these communities, one thing to keep in mind is that these are very resourceful people. They're used to surviving. So they don't need our handouts. Again, what they need is for us to walk with them and help them through these changes that will be long-lasting. Above all, they need the same thing that we all need. They need a relationship with our Creator that will provide hope in the face of desperation.
In order to protect these valuable relationships, please refrain from giving anything to a local without permission from the host. Oftentimes, we're able to build amazing relationships by working together towards a common goal. A smile is understood in every language.